Decision-making through instinct isn't just a catchy phrase. It's one of the most underrated skills we have, especially for neurodivergent minds. Most of us were taught that good decisions come from logic. Make a list of pros and cons, build a spreadsheet, compare your options and choose the one with the most check marks. That's what school drills into us. That's what workplaces reward. And sure, logic has its place, but life isn't a math problem. Life is messy, life is complex, and that's where instinct comes in. So what does decision-making through instinct actually mean? It's not about being impulsive. It's about recognizing that your body and brain are constantly processing information below the surface. Instinct is pattern recognition. It's your nervous system remembering 1,000 tiny details that never made it to conscious thought. It's why you sometimes just know something feels off in a meeting, even if nobody said it out loud, or why you feel pulled toward a project, a person, or a place without being able to explain why. For neurodivergent people, this can be even more powerful. ADHD brains notice connections that don't fit neat boxes. Autistic brains often pick up sensory and emotional cues others miss. Dyslexic thinkers might see the big picture long before the details are in place. All of those things feed instinct. So when you trust your gut, you're not bypassing logic. You're tapping into a deeper layer of data your brain has been quietly collecting. Here's a real example. A friend of mine had 2 job offers, one with the big paycheck and the fancy title, and one with a smaller company that just felt right. On paper, the first job was the smart choice, but their gut kept pointing to the second. They couldn't explain it. They chose the smaller company, and 6 months later, the smart company had massive layoffs. Their gut wasn't magic, it was data. Instinct, decision-making through instinct. Now let's talk science for a minute. Did you know your gut actually has its own nervous system? It's called the enteric nervous system, and it's packed with neurons that communicate with your brain. That's why people talk about having a gut feeling. It's not just a metaphor, it's biology. Neurodivergent brains often process dopamine differently, and that can make gut signals louder, messier, or more urgent. Sometimes it shows up as hyperfocus, a pull so strong you forget to eat or sleep. Sometimes it shows up as rejection sensitivity, a gut drop that warns you, don't go there, you'll get hurt. But here's the challenge. Not every gut feeling is clarity. Sometimes it's anxiety dressed up as instinct. Sometimes it's trauma echoing through your body. That's why learning to trust your gut is really about learning to understand it. So how do you practice decision-making through instinct without it turning into chaos? A few ideas. Notice the signal. Is your gut pulling you forward with excitement or locking up with dread? There's a difference. Give it space. Write the thought down, then step away. See if the instinct feels the same tomorrow. Pair it with reason. Instinct can point the way, but logic can confirm the path. Use both. Think of it like driving. Instinct is your sense of direction. It tells you which way feels right. Logic is your map. It makes sure you're not heading into the ocean. You need both. But without instinct, you'll just sit in the parking lot with your spreadsheet of possible routes. So here's the bigger point. Do you trust your gut? Decision-making through instinct isn't about ignoring reason. It's about valuing a kind of intelligence that doesn't always show up in charts. It's about saying, my perspective matters, my wiring matters, and the signals my brain and body send me are valid. And if you're neurodivergent, this is especially important. Too often we've been told not to trust ourselves. You're too impulsive. You're too emotional. You're overthinking it. But what if those instincts are actually your superpower? What if decision-making through instinct is the exact thing that helps you navigate a world that wasn't built for your brain? Here's today's Coffee 5 reminder. Your instinct is not broken. Your gut is not unreliable. It's a compass. One that might not point north for everyone else, but it points to your true north, and that's what matters. So the question isn't just, do you trust your gut? The real question is, will you give yourself permission to? If you're still here sipping coffee with me, you're definitely one of us. Please like, subscribe, and drop a comment. When did trusting your gut lead you to the right choice? I'd love to hear your stories.